I want to guide our questions to PumaKat here, Iris.
Why aren't you going to Maria first?
Because Maria's a special guest. She's like, what are you guys talking about?
She's a special guest. You're the guest.
Oh my God.
So obviously people on this podcast know that we've been in a relationship for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Right?
A little more, I think, now.
Oh, she's counting. But I want to ask you, maybe you can share with people some of the things that outside of us being together, but what influenced you to move forward and create positive impacts in your life? I know you were in Tucson for a while. You kind of hit your head on the ceiling, meaning that you couldn't go any farther with where you were at. What gave you the incentive to make the decision, not necessarily to be with me and move, but to say, hey, I'm going to take a chance and move forward, get around positive people, go to the next level?
Yeah, I was prepping for my show, and I think I was just in low carbs.
Oh, you're saying you made a mistake. Wow.
And then, wait, are you being sarcastic or are you being truthful?
You know when you have low carbs, you compete, and your brain's a little...
Oh, my God.
No, I'm just kidding.
Dating tip, guys, date a girl that's in prep, you got a better chance of winning her over, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, I grew up in Tucson, and for me, the city, like, I just felt like I couldn't really move on. Like, I don't know if it was a city. I was moving forward. I was a hairdresser, but I saw ladies that were there for like 20 years, and I just didn't see myself doing that for 20 years. I also didn't see myself having a business in that city. I just felt like my brain and everything went bigger, and I felt like I couldn't do it there. So then I met you, and I just kind of...
So like people there didn't have what you wanted.
Yeah, they were satisfied. The top I could get there, I looked at the ladies that had been there 20 years. They're making good money as a hairdresser. They have their clientele. But to me, that wasn't enough for me. And I was already rising to the top, and that's where I would end up, like these ladies. And I didn't think that was for me. And then the other part was having my own salon, like my own business. But it also didn't make sense to do it in that city. I feel like I had to move out to grow.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, so I did a lot of things. I mean, even my family, like you guys said, we're all the sheep. I didn't really think I was, but I guess you say I am.
The black sheep?
Yeah.
Well, you kind of left and nobody wanted you to go. Your whole family's here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I left my job. I left my family.
You got a lot of pushback from your dad, your brother, your family members.
Yeah, I mean, they were at the airport like it was a movie scene. So.
What do you mean they were at the airport?
Well, I said I'm going to go to, what was it, Seattle? Yeah, said I'm going to go to Seattle, and I'll be back, just going to go do some photo shoots. They were like, what? They just went nuts. They're like, no, you're not going. They're literally stopping me at the airport. I said, I'm just going for the weekend. I'll be back. But I think my dad was afraid. Something bad would happen to me.
How old were you when this happened?
26.
So, and they were still like
very... And you're how old now?
29.
Okay.
And they're very overprotective.
Yeah, well, I left a marriage. Is that allowed to say?
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say that.
I'm not allowed to say that, yes.
Yeah, I got separated. I was in the outs of... So I don't really tell my parents what I'm doing. I have my own house and everything, but they had to see all of that because I decided to go back home since I was going through a separation. And so otherwise I wouldn't really have to tell them. But to them, they thought I was really going nuts because I was making all these changes that didn't make sense. And I was kind of really taking a risk.
Now, was there anybody in Tucson that you looked up to as a mentor?
No.
What about?
No, it sounds like... Go ahead.
There's a client of mine, she was a client. I did her hair, and she was a business owner. She owned like 2 or 3, they're called street tacos in Tucson, Arizona.
In the mall?
In the mall, one downtown Tucson.
Does that make good money?
Well, I don't know, but she opened my mind to actually wanting to do more. And she actually gifted me a camera to start my YouTube channel because I told her how I really wanted to have all these other side ideas. And she's like, you can make it happen. So she was becoming a mentor in a way.
So her mindset was in the right place. So if we remove money from the factor, she was living her life on her terms, with no one kind of telling her what to do, without a ceiling. Like she could have gone further if she wanted to, but she kind of opened and expanded your horizons to understand like, hey, there's more to life than just sitting in a salon. when you
Yeah,
can go
she-
when you can go have multiple projects.
Yeah, she told me, she said, why don't you have your own salon? And I said, well, I mean, I know what goes into owning that type of business, and I didn't want to.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to be there. I know it was going to take a lot of my time, so I didn't want to have that. You know, I wanted more freedom. You know, I think that's what we.
I think you made a right choice, because my mother she's a retired hairdresser, and she's owned 2 or 3 salons, and owning a salon is probably one of the biggest pain in the asses, because now you have to manage, because you might have people like subcontracting, like, you know, renting stations, but it's a pain because you got to manage that. They got to pay the rent on time, clientele that comes in. How do you manage walk-ins? Like, there's just so much that goes into the science of owning a salon, and then if you don't have like 4 or 5 ballers that coming in that have hardcore high-end clientele all at one time, your salon can hurt really bad.
Well, not only that, I already worked at the top #1 salon in Tucson. We had 7 locations plus 2 sister salons. So I had clients from Scottsdale coming in, you know, that we had the top clients like lawyers, doctors in there. So if I opened my own salon in that city, you know, it was going to be hard to compete against the salon I was already at.
Right.
So I was already at the top. And like I said, it was going to be too much work to own that type of business. So, and then the other option was to just be a hairdresser there, like these ladies that have been there. Oh, I've been here 20 years, but their income can only go so far. And my mind was thinking way farther, and that scenario just didn't make sense.
Sure.
So.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And now you're in Vegas. You went to Seattle, Vegas.
Yeah, we were in like a year and a half. I lived in Seattle.
How'd you like Seattle?
No, it was too cold. I never experienced such cold weather in my life. I had to get a big jacket. I was like, what are these things?
I don't know. I love cold weather, but not rain weather.
I like the heat. Vegas is very similar to Arizona, so
yeah,
I like it here.
Right on. And now you're trying to compete. You got a national show in December.
Yeah, I'm prepping for my national.
And you're starting a clothing brand.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Working on it.
Activewear, and also like going out, little dresses, you know. Everybody asks me about it, so I'm trying to figure it out.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the channel. If you like what you saw today, find value in what you saw, please share with your friends and family.
And make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and in the comment sections below, let us know which topics you would like us to cover in the future.